Greetings and salutations, travelers of the internet. Welcome to the Lit Round Table. I'm Alma.
And I'm Joseph, and today we'll be your wise or not so wise mentors for today's audio adventure into all things storytelling.
Hey.
Hello.
How we doing?
It's episode 6.
Episode 6. Here we are. We predict.
Kenobi!
Yes. Although I noticed that they're actually calling it Obi Wan Kenobi. They're not just calling it Kenobi.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know the reference, in the Rebels TV show, there's a part, spoilers.
Big spoilers.
There's a part where like Darth Maul is on Tatooine trying to find Ben Kenobi, and he just like screams Kenobi into the sky.
It's very dramatic.
Yeah, it's so extra. It's so Darth Maul.
It's great. We love it.
Anyway.
It's very memeable, and it has become a meme. So
It really has.
Yeah.
So, today we're going to predict what we think will happen in the Obi Wan Kenobi show based solely on one trailer.
Yes.
I haven't done like a ton of research. I don't know like if there's anything that's been revealed in like interviews or anything like that. I don't know. We're just going off of the trailer. So don't at me if I say things that are like blatantly incorrect.
Right.
I'm only going off of the trailer. So, but before we get into predicting, let's go over the usual stuff. So what you been watching? What you reading?
Well, I'll start with what I'm reading. I am currently reading The Light of the Midnight Stars by Rena Rossner. That's a read-along novel for our every other week. If you aren't listening, you should.
Yep.
And I'm also reading through the Little House on the Prairie series. We just finished Little House on the Prairie, and we're going to be starting next week on the banks of Plum Creek. So, very excited to be moving up into Minnesota from Kansas.
Minnesota. Oh, things are going to get chilly.
Yes. So excited about that. And I am also listening to a Star Wars novel right now because of our deep dive for our Patreons. We talked about some of the extended universe stuff for Star Wars. And so I'm listening to Heir to the Empire by Timothy Zahn, and it is very good. And the production value of the audiobook is very good. So if you are interested in that at all, I would highly recommend it because it's been a joy.
Awesome.
I do have a small amendment.
To
our last episode. I mentioned that I was reading Sweetest in the Gale by Olivia Dade, which is a romance novel. I did not realize that it's actually a collection of 3 novellas set in that town. So
interesting.
Just the first one was about what I said it was about.
I see.
So anyway, it was still good. Just very different. I don't know that I would recommend it as much as the other books, because the other books were very good, and the novellas are just different. Like the structure of them is different. So
yeah.
What else am I reading? I got so I mentioned in the last episode that I borrowed Hope's The Witch Hat Atelier or whatever that word is. I got my copies of volumes 1 and 2 in the mail, so I started reading volume 1 again, which is exciting.
Very nice.
Yes.
Thank you for reminding me about the manga so I can mention that in my section of what I've been reading.
Yes. So that's what I've been reading. And then for watching, I watched season 2 of Bridgerton, which is like very different from season 1. Lots of like Jane Austen level angst, enemies to lovers.
Ooh.
Like brooding.
Ooh.
Yes.
Fun.
Yes.
Is Keira Knightley involved?
No, sadly. So I finished that. I haven't started The Last Kingdom's last season yet, but it's on my list of things to accomplish. And I also haven't actually started Outlander yet, which I'm appalled at myself. But you know what? I don't have any manga now or anime now to watch on Sundays, so I will have time to watch Outlander on Sundays. Because I watched the last episode of part 2 of the final season of Attack on Titan, and then it was revealed that there's going to be a part 3 that comes out next year, and I have mixed feelings about it.
Because, like, that breaks the mold.
Yes.
They've had seasons that have 2 parts. They've never had a 3-parter. And it's like you keep just like baiting me with this whole final season thing. It's like, why do you say that word? I do not think it means what you think it means.
Well, here's what I think happened. I think they got to the halfway point and they were like, well, we have a lot left. And then they got like halfway through the second half and they were like, oh, wow, there's no way.
Yeah, that's fair.
We didn't pace this out the way we thought we did.
I mean, I'm only grumpy because I'm impatient.
Yes.
So it's fine. So long as it's, you know, if it comes out and it's done justice and it looks awesome, like, sweet. Also, please be nice to your animators, Mappa. And please let them, like, rest and see their families while they're trying to animate this show.
Yes. Yes.
Don't burn them out.
Or your voice actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Attack on Titan. What else? What else you got?
Well, we're watching Assassination Classroom. I feel like I said that funny. Assassination Classroom. There were a couple of anime movies I tried to watch the other day, but I was like, this weekend I ended up having a lot of things to do, so I had to pause them. I'll revisit them. I can't even tell you what they were called because I was not able to devote the attention to them that I wanted to. But I did watch Tick Tick Boom on Netflix, which is the musical that Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote in honor of Jonathan Larson, who was the creator of Rent, starring Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The boy can sing.
Oh, that's good.
The boy should sing more often. The man.
Nice.
He's not really a boy, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched that. I watched that on Friday before my birthday, and the musical kind of centers around a 30th birthday, which was kind of funny. I should have watched it last year, but
yeah. Critical Role. Still keeping up with that.
Yes. I am still watching Critical Role, and I have watched a little bit more of Campaign 2.
Yes.
And you can leave this out or cut or whatever, Joseph. But I just watched the episode where they're fighting this thing in a cave, and there's this kid that's wounded, and Jester's super irritated that she has to go try and take care of this kid because she wants to get more ears off the knolls to make more money. That's all she wants to do. But she's the healer of the group, and it's just so funny.
Yeah. Jester, what a chaotic character.
She's so annoyed. Oh my gosh, I love her. Yeah.
Her and Fern, they're both the chaos characters.
Yes. Yes, and I love them both so much.
Fern being from Campaign 3.
Yes.
But
Critical Role just had another EXU duology drop, Kymal, that has Robbie Damon back.
Robbie! He cut his hair.
He did. He chopped it off, man.
And I don't know, I haven't finished the first EXU thing, so I did not watch them, so don't.
Oh.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. I only watched, because it aired Thursday and Friday, I only got the first part of the Thursday night one watched. So I also have not watched all of them, but I have watched part of them. I'm very excited about it. I think that's it. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what it would be.
Fair.
So, and then playing the One Ring RPG. So, my character's not dead yet. She might die.
Oh.
She is not well.
There was quite the fight last time.
Yes.
Lots of orcs.
Too many
there may
orcs.
have been some eagles involved that swooped in and saved the day.
I need to apologize to you, and I'll do it formally on the podcast.
What? Oh my gosh, what?
I got so angry when I thought you were going to kill my horse. And I'm sorry.
Oh, you haven't known fear until your D&D pet has almost died.
Oh, but I'm okay. My character is a part of the Rohirrim, and my horse is like an extension of my being.
I mean,
and she may die, but I'm gonna take you're gonna regret this because I'm gonna end up taking our group on or myself on a major side quest to get my horse back.
Yeah, you are. I'm sure.
So sorry. I am sorry though that I got a little testy with you because I was like
no. I think
irritated about my horse potentially dying.
I knew you would be because I knew going into that encounter that I was like, well, I know that this is something where the Eagles are going to show up because of things that haven't been revealed yet. But I was like, oh crap, they have a horse, and like they made the other horse run away, but you specifically said, I'm keeping my horse. So I was like,
because
oh, great.
She is an extension of my body.
Yeah,
I love her.
Yeah. And the horse can help in combat sometimes too.
Yes.
Haven't dived into that yet, but that's a thing. So like, no, I understand why, but then I was like, an eagle is not going to be able to carry a horse for long distances.
Yeah.
But luckily for you, the horse. I did roll. I made some good rolls for the horse to escape. So the horse did escape madness. But now it's just going to be a matter of finding the horse at some point. So we will see what happens there.
I was so upset. I was like legit almost crying.
So sorry.
RPG horse.
And your character was unconscious when this was happening,
so I couldn't even do anything. I was like, oh no. Oh no. So
you're gonna wake up these giant birds everywhere.
so maybe
no
here's
horse.
an apology ahead of time. Merwin is gonna be real upset when she wakes up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
So. Yeah. Well, I'm glad it was fun anyway, even when traumatizing things happen.
Yes.
That's role-playing games for you.
Yeah, I know.
Don't get too attached to things because sometimes stuff happens
all about
that
the dice.
Yeah, sometimes stuff happens that you cannot control. Both ways. Me as a DM, things will happen that I did not expect.
Right. Just you wait till Merwin realizes that Winfula is gone.
Yeah. There goes the plot.
There goes the whole plot. I think I even said last week, I was like, I don't really care about this Lady Arame that we're supposed to be helping. I am going for my horse when I wake up.
Gosh. That's what you've been playing.
Yes.
Does that wrap up your
yes,
my turn?
I think
my
I've
turn?
talked enough. I'm sorry.
All right. No, you're good. So, for what I've been watching, I mean, I'll brush over the things that we're both watching, like Assassination Classroom, Attack on Titan, Critical Role, of course. And I'm excited there's going to be a new one this week because there wasn't one last week because there was the EXU stuff, but there wasn't like a campaign episode. Right. So, those have all been really good. I have now finished the latest season of Last Kingdom.
No spoilers.
I have watched that, and that it felt pretty dang final.
I think Netflix says it's the final season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it did feel pretty final.
Did they all die?
So, I'm not going to tell you anything.
Oh no.
No, that's not.
Okay.
See, you. Okay. You have a bad habit of asking questions that you don't want to know the answer to, but no matter how I answer, it's going to be telling of something.
I think I always ask, do they all die?
You need to do yourself a favor and stop asking questions because what if they do all die now?
Well, that'll be a bummer. But that would have been a bummer either way.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's why I asked that question, because no matter how you answer it, like there's no winning, but also if they all die, then there's no winning.
I will not tell you anything.
Okay.
I will reveal nothing.
Okay.
So just go watch it.
Maybe by the next time we record, I'll have watched it, and then we can.
There you go. There you So that was fun. I also started watching because I just couldn't get enough of it. I started watching a different show that I blitzed through in like 2 days that I binged called Barbarians. It's a Netflix original, and it is about the Germanic tribes fighting against the Roman Empire in Central Europe. And it's actually it's like a German show. Like the German tribe people all speak German and the Romans all speak Latin, and it's subtitles. I mean, you can watch it dubbed too, but yeah. So that was really fun.
Is it a Netflix original or?
It is. It is.
Okay.
With us being of German descent, see the ancestors fight against the Romans. Yeah, is interesting. I also learned through that show that the like pagan Norse gods are kind of derived from the Germanic or the German paganism. There's just not as much records of the German stuff, but I think I had read of I read it online, so it must be true. I'm not a historian. I don't know, but like the people that settled in like Scandinavia and in like the north originally came from that Central Europe area with like the German tribes and stuff, Germania. So
yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, they're all related.
Yeah, because they were talking about how like one of their gods like lost an eye to gain knowledge of stuff, and they called him like Woden, and I'm like, oh, so it's Odin. You're talking about Odin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, we could probably do a whole other podcast talking about like how
like Norse
different
mythology
ancient
and stuff.
religions end up echoing each other in interesting ways and unexpected ways.
Yes. Yes. But anyway, that show is really interesting. It was only like 8 episodes, but
okay.
Yeah, it was cool. So go check that out if you're interested in that type of. It was not a comedy. It was definitely.
Neither is The Last Kingdom.
Yeah, don't go in there expecting comedy, but that was really fun.
On a scale of like Charlie Brown to Game of Thrones, how bloody is it?
Charlie Brown to Game of Thrones. That is such a wide.
Well,
it is closer to
Charlie
Game
Brown
of Thrones.
is as like clean and
it's
not
pretty
bloody
gory.
as you can get. Okay.
It's pretty gory. Like,
okay.
I mean, there are sword fightings, stuff, and like brutal. Yeah, there's. It's pretty gory. There's some sexual content, but it's not like insane. It's not to the Game of Thrones level of sexual content. It does happen, but anyway, don't watch it with your kids.
Okay.
For adults, for the adults out there that like that kind of thing. So that was a good one. Let's see, what else have I been watching? Well, Hope and I, so we've been doing HelloFresh, which is a meal subscription service. This isn't a sponsorship. We just like it. So HelloFresh, if you're listening and you ever want to sponsor us, cool.
Me too. I also use HelloFresh. Not a sponsor.
Yeah. Anyway, while we've been cooking, we've been watching Star Wars movies while we've been cooking our HelloFresh meal. So we watched A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. That's been fun.
That's awesome.
That's been fun.
This is a very Star Wars heavy podcast.
It is.
Episode.
Yeah. So there's that. I think that'll probably wrap it up for watching. I'll just move on to reading. Still reading Light of Midnight Stars by Rena Rossner for the read along, and that's been fun. Very whimsical, very Jewish fairy tale.
Kind of scary.
It's been a great time.
Spooky.
It's getting there. It's getting a little spooky. And also still reading The Way of Kings, the first Stormlight Archive book. I'm wondering if after this first one, if I should like read other stuff that's written by Brandon Sanderson, because apparently a lot of them are interconnected. It's kind of like how like all the Stephen King novels are interconnected. Like it's called the Brandon.
Really?
Did you not know that? Yeah, apparently there's like an overarching like lore behind the Stephen King novels. Yeah.
I have so many questions. I've read 2 Stephen King novels, and I cannot fathom how they could possibly
Oh,
be
it's a thing. It's a
connected
whole
to each
thing.
other.
It's a whole thing. You're gonna have to look it up later. Um,
Huh.
well, okay, not all of them. They're not. I'm sure they're not all like that. But a chunk of them. So anyway, moving on. So I'm wondering if I should go read some other Brandon Sanderson things just to see if there's like any. Actually, there was a reference that I caught because I've read the first Mistborn trilogy. I caught like a reference, not like to Mistborn
Oh.
itself, but there was definitely a reference that I noticed today while I was listening.
So maybe you should look up like the publication order.
Yeah, maybe. I think like this is the series that is still being like published right now. So I think it's going to end up being like I guess I better go read all of it. I better go read everything. But I've read the first 3 Mistborn. I think I just need to read like Warbreaker, and honestly that would be a good one for the read along list too. Warbreaker and the next era of Mistborn, Elantris. Yeah. Anyway, his universe is called the Cosmere. That's what they're called. It's a cool name. He comes up with cool names. Anyway, so reading Wave Kings, and I want to say that's pretty. Oh no, manga. There's manga. I did get that Demon Slayer manga, the Tales of Fire and Water. I think I haven't. I've
Yes.
only read like the first chunk of it. I need to finish it, but
I
I,
read
I want to
that.
get into that.
I should put that in my
Oh,
list.
there you go.
But I forgot.
Did you like it? Was it good? Don't
I
spoil it,
did.
but
It
was it
was
good?
really good. No spoilers,
Okay.
but it was very good.
Okay. Looking forward to that. And let's see, was there any other manga? Yeah, okay, I think that's about it for reading. And now for playing, The One Ring, we're still playing that, and also I have been playing Bloodborne. I don't know if I talked about this last podcast, but I'm still
You
playing
did, but that's okay.
Bloodborne. I am uh making my way through that. Ba-da-ba-bum-bum. So it's difficult. It's a hard game, but
Is
I'm
it?
making my way.
Good
Making my
job.
way downtown through Yarnum. A hunter must hunt. That's the name of the place you're in. It's Yarnum. And I'm a hunter. I'm a hunter. I've got to hunt the monsters with my saw blade and my blunderbuss.
Oh man.
It's a whole aesthetic that I didn't know I needed in my life, but it's pretty engaging.
Good.
So that's been really fun. I've also been watching Hope replay The Last of Us Part 2, which has also been fun. And let's see. That's about it for playing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there
So
a
that's it.
famous
That's what-
voice? Okay, in The Last of Us Part 2, is one of the Critical Role people in it?
2 of them are.
Which ones?
Ashley Johnson. Ashley Johnson is Ellie, the main character from the first one and in the second one. And Laura Bailey is Abby, who is the other main character in the second one.
Nice.
So
Very cool.
yeah, and I think a lot of them actually make cameos as like grunt people that you like kill, like
Sure.
enemy NPCs. I
Sure.
think they make a lot of cameos for those kind of roles.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, let's jump into the actual topic of discussion here before my phone dies. Let's jump into Kenobi.
What do we think is gonna happen?
Yeah, because we both rewatched the trailer today. So, I just got done talking about my stuff. So let's start with you. What are your thoughts after viewing the trailer? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Where do you think? What direction is the show going?
Okay, so upon rewatching it, I realized that like pretty much the whole second half of the trailer spotlights the Inquisitors, which is a thing that comes up in Rebels. And they're like the Emperor's answer to hunting down the last of the Jedi that the clones didn't get. And they're like lightsaber wielders and maybe force sensitive.
Yeah, they are.
Unclear. Are they? Okay.
They are. They're 100%. Yeah.
So if you listen to our bonus episode, if you're a Patreon and you listen to our bonus episode, we talked about Mara Jade, and I think that she would have fallen in that category. Like if the Inquisitors existed in the extended universe, she would have been one of them.
She would have been the head honcho.
Right. Like, because in the extended universe, her title's like the Emperor's Hand, which is like what the Inquisitors essentially are. So.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, continue. I can do my spiel about like the Inquisitor because I also know more because I played Jedi Fallen Order.
Right.
And they're in that game too. So anyway, continue.
But so they show up in Rebels. They're pretty intimidating and fierce. So I'm excited to see more of them. And what exactly that entails for Obi-Wan. There's a line in the trailer, I think it's one of the Inquisitors talking, saying that the Jedi leave a trail of compassion because they just can't help themselves. And
that's a really good line.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It makes me so excited.
And that's like the thing that gives them away. Mm-hmm. He's like, you're like looking for that dude that like helps the old lady cross the street. Oh, it must be a Jedi. Pow pow. Like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm so excited to see Ewan McGregor again reprise his role.
Oh, yeah.
And we know that Hayden Christensen is also in the show. Like, that's been revealed. Like, that's common knowledge. So I'm excited to see, like, how they do that. Like, what kind of flashbacks I'm assuming we get flashbacks. Mm-hmm. Or Obi-Wan having some kind of mental break. Also very possible.
Yeah. I will say this, that I think it's confirmed that Hayden Christensen puts the suit on. Like I think he is going to be in the Darth Vader suit.
Oh.
I think that's confirmed.
Ooh, that's
so keep that in mind. So yeah, okay, it's going to be based on our knowledge of the trailer and tidbits that we picked up along the way. My point was I haven't done extensive research other than the trailer into what's going to be in the show. So
sure.
Yeah. Any other glaring things that you noticed?
It's not all going to be on Tatooine.
Thank goodness. Oh, Lord. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
We get a watery planet.
We do.
So, okay.
And a city planet. Like a Coruscant type situation.
Mm-hmm. So, for me, with what I know and with watching the trailer, things that I noticed. So, yes, it's not all going to be on Tatooine. Thank the Maker. And because Tatooine... Okay, so here's my thing. This has been like a rant that I've made ever since like the Boba Fett show, and even before then with like The Force Awakens, right? I'm so tired of these desert planets.
Yeah, and to be fair, you've made this comment on the podcast before, but I want you to just like revel in it here.
Yes. Okay, so here's the thing. The whole point of the Tatooines and the Jakkus is that it's the backwater dust ball that nobody wants to be on, that the main character is stuck on, and the whole purpose of the planet is for them to get off of it. Like, to start progressing the story and live their life. And then you have... I mean, they come back in Return of the Jedi, but it's like he comes back and he's like, I used to live here, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, you're going to die here, convenient. And it's like, they're like talking about how, yeah, it kind of sucks here, doesn't it?
Right.
Like we're in a crime lord's dungeon right now. Like, yeah, Tatooine isn't exactly a welcoming environment. C-3PO says like, it's what a desolate place this is.
Which
so
is,
that's like, but that's like,
yeah.
Continue. What are you going to say?
I was just going to say that, which is ironic because that's where C-3PO starts. But he gets memory wipes and he doesn't remember exactly where he's from.
Right.
Right. And you know what? Even I will say that in the prequel trilogy, that when they're on Tatooine, it is like, wow, this sucks. Like, we don't want to be here. They meet Anakin and he's a slave and his mom's a slave and like everything about it is bad.
Yeah.
And it is not like someplace that they want to be. And they feel bad about leaving Shmi behind. And could Qui-Gon have figured out a way to take her? Probably, but whatever.
Yeah.
But like, it's not a happy place. Like, Anakin wants to get away from it, does not want
Mm-hmm.
to be there. And the reason that it works for Obi-Wan to take Luke to Tatooine to hide him from Anakin is that Anakin does not want to return to Tatooine. Nobody wants to be there.
Yeah. And
Why
the
would you
thing,
take someone
okay,
there?
so you have Tatooine in the original trilogy, and that is Tatooine's function. It's
Mm-hmm.
the Dust Ball planet that nobody wants to be on, and like Luke's whole goal is to like is his whole character arc is get off Tatooine, go live your life. It's like the country bumpkin going off
Mm-hmm.
to live their life off the farm, the moisture farm in this case. But then the prequels come up, and oh look, we're on Tatooine again. But at least with the prequels, we have so many other planets. Like that's one of the things that we can praise George Lucas on with the prequel trilogy is how
Mm-hmm.
many different landscapes and planets we got. So it at
Oh
least
yeah.
felt like it was mixed in with some other cool stuff, you know.
Right, because we had
Except
Naboo,
for
super lush and beautiful.
yeah,
Coruscant, impressive city.
yeah, yeah.
Camino, water
Except
planet.
for I will say this. I mean, in Attack of the Clones, we had a lot of different planets. We got Coruscant, we got Camino, we got
Mm-hmm.
Tatooine, and Geonosis in the same movie. He gave us two desert planets, and the only
Yes.
thing differentiating them was the color of the sand, and like, and
Well,
one
and
of them
also
had bug people.
Geonosis. Yes, but they also had like the huge manufacturing thing. Like that was different.
Yes, but I'm just saying it was definitely
Another
like
desert planet.
as a kid watching these things because they went directly from Tatooine to Geonosis. I definitely
That's true. They
thought
did.
that they just flew to a different place on Tatooine. like like I just
Yeah.
think they could have maybe made Geonosis not a desert, but anyway, they could have made it whatever they wanted. It didn't have to be a desert. But
Right.
it was a good juxtaposition. The droid factory was on a desert planet. The clone factory was on a water planet. Whatever. I get it. It's a thing. Fine. But then episode 3, we get to go back on a Tatooine again at the end. But at least that's just to drop off Luke.
Right.
And then we get the sequel trilogy, and it's like, oh, right, time for a fresh new face on Star Wars. And then we get The Force Awakens, and then we get Jakku. Oh, good, another desert planet that looks exactly. It's not even like Geonosis, where at least the sand's a different color. It's Tatooine. Like it's just war torn Tatooine with like a bunch of wreckage from like vehicles, from like Imperial vehicles, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's just like, okay, come on now. How many desert planets do we need? And then the sequel trilogy is done, which and then in the Rise of Skywalker, guess what? There was another desert planet that they went to in the Rise of Skywalker.
Right. A different one.
And I don't even remember what the name of that one was because it was not memorable. But
Mm-mm.
and then so after the sequel trilogy is done, then we get like the Mandalorian, which that one has desert planets on it. I mean, that one at least does have more changes in scenery. All
It does
granted,
specifically go to Tatooine though at one point.
it does. It sure
Mm-hmm.
does.
Mm-hmm.
Which is different from the first desert planet that he was on, which looks exactly like Tatooine. So I just need Star Wars to understand that Tatooine is so boring to look at. Like it's just sand. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating and it gets everywhere. But
I'm
then we
happy
get
you said that.
to the book of Boba Fett. And guess what, Anna? That
More
book takes place
desert.
almost exclusively on Tatooine.
With a
and
few minor hops to other places, but yes.
that show tried so hard to make Tatooine an interesting place. So hard. But it's just like, guys, it's not supposed to be interesting. It's a dust ball desert planet that is like the crime lords live there and they're like just hiding out. The reason the crime lords live on Tatooine is because it's a dust ball outskirt planet that nobody wants to live on and it's under the radar. That's like the point. you
Yep.
know? Like just you could have had Boba Fett go to the Hutt planet to like duke it out with the Hutts for like the
Wow.
rights to Jabba's stuff. That would have been so cool. We could have seen more Hutts. We could have seen like Hutt gang wars. Like that would have been awesome. But no, we got to just camp out on Tatooine with with the angsty Vespa body mod gang, and now Boba has a pet Rancor, and it's just like, and also the best episode of the whole show was basically the Mandalorian prequel. And the reason why it was the best episode of the whole show is because in the beginning they got off a Tatooine. And we got to see this cool like ring space station thing. And I was like, oh, thank you. Oh yeah, I remembered this is Star Wars. We're seeing like a bunch of cool like sci-fi settings. Oh yeah, it's Star Wars. Okay. Anyway, my point is the Kenobi show, Obi Wan Kenobi, is most certainly going to have Tatooine involved because that's where Obi-Wan is. So I'm just going to have to get over it. But in the trailer, there's definitely more than just Tatooine shown, and I'm really hoping that we spend equal time, if not more time, off of Tatooine. Like, if Obi-Wan at some point has to leave Tatooine, good. Like, just get him off. Like, he can come back, that's fine. But if he needs to leave Tatooine to go run an errand, I support it. I support his decision, and I hope it happens.
I will say that I will be more forgiving of them spending time on Tatooine in this show because A New Hope starts on Tatooine with Luke and Ben Kenobi.
Like, there are plot reasons why
Yes.
why he needs to, like, be on Tatooine.
Yes.
For most, if not all, of the show. Like, I get that. And so it is more forgivable. But we are going to get to see more places. Like, I think it's called the Sanctum Inquisitorius or something. Like, it's the Inquisitor Castle, which is actually in Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh.
Which is like the last level. Spoilers for the game. Spoilers for that game. It's like the last level of the game, and you see one of the most like It's like one of the most terrifying scenes with Darth Vader that I've ever had the pleasure of watching. It's like up there with the Rogue One lightsaber hallway thing. Like, it was so terrifying and so cool. I'm gonna have to like send you a link to it so that you can watch it because I'm sure you're not gonna play that game. Yeah, so that was a super scary scene in Jedi Fallen Order. But yeah, the Inquisitor Castle looks cool. There's some other places that look like they're not on Tatooine, that I'm looking forward to seeing. So yeah, what I'm really predicting is that it's going to be kind of the Inquisitors hunting down Kenobi, and I think he's going to have to be like playing it under the radar that he's a Jedi. He's going to be in hiding. He's going to be trying to avoid Imperial entanglements. But I'm just wondering because I think there's going to be some kind of conflict other than that. I think he's also going to be trying to protect Luke from the Inquisitors because Luke is also Force sensitive, even though he doesn't know it yet. But I guess we'll see if Obi-Wan notices him do something, like maybe Luke unconsciously like moves a ball or something without realizing it. And Obi-Wan's like, oh crap, like he's starting to like use the Force for things, and there's like Inquisitors around. So maybe he's going to be trying to cover for Luke or like run interference, you know?
Right.
I could see that happening. But yeah, so my big prediction though is that I hope that we see maybe Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in the same area, like in the same scene again. And not just in like a flashback thing. Like, I think because if you look at the dialogue for A New Hope, it could work where they saw each other after Mustafar. Like, it would maybe work. I just don't think it would be able to be on Tatooine.
No, because I
Like
think that
Obi-Wan,
reveals that there's something to be found on
yeah,
Tatooine.
I think Obi-Wan would have to not be on Tatooine, and they would have to interact. But if they got to duke it out again, and if I get to hear the episode 3, not Duel of the Fates, the Battle of Heroes music,
Which that was in the trailer.
which was in the trailer, if I get to hear that music again with Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fighting, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna scream,
Yeah.
like a giddy little schoolboy. I'm gonna be super pumped if that happens, and I hope
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah. Well, and they got John Williams back to do the soundtrack for the show, which is super wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good. Yeah.
So I'm very excited for all those things.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we get to see that. And yeah, I guess as far as like predictions go, that's my main thing is I think that he's going to be running interference with the Inquisitors. Oh, we also see the Grand Inquisitor who's in Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
We also see there's another Inquisitor that I think is from Rebels in there. He's one of the guys. He's like the bigger one,
Mm-hmm.
the burlier one.
Yeah.
And there's one that we haven't seen before, who makes a pretty big appearance. She has like braids. I don't think we've
Yeah.
seen her, but I mean, there were Inquisitors in Jedi Fallen Order that we hadn't seen until that game came out too. So I'm sure there will be some Inquisitors that we see that will be unique to the show. But
I think there's an
yeah.
Inquisitor in the Ahsoka book too, and it might be that one.
Oh, really?
I think so. It's been a while since I read that one.
Yeah.
There had better not be Ahsoka in this one.
No, that'd be weird. I hope not.
She should not show up in this one.
No.
As much as I love
she
her.
Shouldn't. I also don't want to see Darth Maul show up.
No, because that needs to live in Rebels.
Yeah.
As
that
it
needs
is.
to be a Rebel thing.
Yes.
I know people were talking about, because at the end of Solo, he's like running a crime syndicate or something.
Which lines up with what's happening in Rebels.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine.
So,
wait, does it?
Yeah. People were thinking maybe they would show, like, but no, Maul and Kenobi obviously had not seen each other's, like,
no.
since Mandalore,
right,
from Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Oh no, that was Ahsoka that was on Mandalore. Yeah, I don't know. They hadn't seen each other in a while. He wanted Kenobi to be on Mandalore.
Right.
But it was Ahsoka instead.
Yeah, because Kenobi was busy with Anakin.
Episode 3 stuff.
Yeah.
He was busy
big plot things.
taking out General Grievous.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm really, really pumped for the show. And I should say also, the show did get delayed only by a couple of days. I think now it's like, I forget if it's like the 24th or something now. It's like, it got pushed back a couple of days, but because of that, the first 2 episodes will be available at the same time.
Right.
So we will get to watch the first 2 back to back.
Yeah.
Happy about that.
Yes. I'm hoping that Liam Neeson will show up as Force Qui-Gon.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
I think that would be
because Yoda was
sweet.
like supposed to be showing him how to do that in episode 3, how to talk to Qui-Gon.
For that matter, I hope Yoda shows up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
If Liam Neeson comes back, even if it's just a voice, even if it's just Obi Wan hearing a voice, I'll be satisfied. Like if they can't bring him back in for full on like Force apparition, I'll understand. But if we get to hear Liam Neeson talk as Qui-Gon, that'll be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jedi Aslan.
Yes. I think that the other thing that I would be interested in seeing, since we know that there's going to be Inquisitors, is I'm kind of hoping that we'll see other Jedi that are maybe reaching out to Obi-Wan in some way or another. Because, we know that more than just Obi-Wan and Yoda survived Order 66. So, it doesn't have to be a lot, just like a little like glimmer of hope.
Yeah. That's actually something that I saw was speculated too, was that Cal Kestis, who's the main character in Jedi Fallen Order, the game, might make an appearance because the game character is based on the voice actor. Like they look the same. Like the voice actor could play the character if you wanted to.
That's cool.
So that's a possibility. And he's a Jedi Padawan that survived Order 66, kind of like Kanan Jarrus in Rebels,
Yeah. Heck, we could even see Kanan Jarrus. That would be cool.
That's true. If we saw like the ghost, like
what's
you mean
the ship, the ghost?
The ship,
yes.
yeah. And what's the pilot's name? The Twi'lek girl.
I can't think of her name right now, but she gets a shout out in Rogue One.
Hera?
Like, yes.
Hera? Yes, thank you. Yes.
In Rogue One. Yep. You see Chopper in Rogue One, And they're like over the intercom, they make a call for Captain Hera.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. So I think it would be cool to see them. Well, are they still alive? Rebels happens. Yeah, they could theoretically be around.
The show, the Obi-Wan
Because
show.
Kenobi happens before A New Hope. So
Correct. I think it's 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. So Luke is a 10-year-old boy on Tatooine. I think that Rebels would take place after the Obi-Wan Kenobi show then. Because so spoilers for Rebels, like when Obi-Wan does show up in like the last part, he's like old Ben.
right.
And he's not quite there yet for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
No. But Kanan, right? Am I saying his name right?
Yeah.
Like survived the Order 66 as a kid, so he could like be around as a older version of himself. So
yeah, we could also maybe see live action Captain Rex. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Because Agreed. It's just more Tamara Morrison, more more of the Jango Fett actor.
That's true.
That'd be really funny actually. But
yeah,
that could be cool.
Yeah. Yep. Not that I don't really want to see more Jedi be killed by the Inquisitors, but I'm sure that would be part of it. But I do want to see more Jedi. I think we
probably will.
I think we probably will.
Yeah.
But I want to see some of them escape and survive. So.
Yeah. I'm very excited.
Me too. When does it come out? May?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be here before we know it.
And towards the end of May. But
right.
But yeah. And the first 2 episodes will be available, like we said before, so you can watch the first 2 right out of the gate. Mm-hmm. Super excited.
Yeah, me too.
Been waiting for the show for ever since like Disney announced that they would be doing shows. People were like, Kenobi show, Boba Fett show, and here we are.
It's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the day that we're recording this, the 3rd book in the Padme trilogy by E.K. Johnston came out.
Oh, interesting.
So it's Queen's Hope is the last one. And that came out today. So, time of recording this. So, yeah.
Cool. Yep. Also, as we're recording this, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga came out today. The video game.
Hasn't that already come out before? Haven't they already done a Skywalker Saga?
No, they did a different one that was called like the Complete Saga, which is funny because it came out like before the sequels were a thing, I think. This one is like episodes 1 through 9.
Wow.
Yeah, looks super fun. I'm gonna have to pick that up soon.
Yeah, you are. I'm gonna have to buy a gaming console just for Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, I think it's on all of them. If you got like a Switch or a PlayStation or an Xbox, I think it's on all of them.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Anna becomes a gamer.
Yeah. For Lego Star Wars. Yeah. Yep.
I'd watch that Let's Play.
I bet there are some out there already that have started.
Probably.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for like predictions for Kenobi, though. There may be some things I'm forgetting about, but yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, it for me too. So
cool.
Just excited.
Yeah, me too. Super pumped. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be coming right after Star Wars Day 2 with May the 4th. I wonder if it's happening like around the same time as Star Wars Celebration. Because that happens in May. It might be.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's us predicting what we think might happen in Kenobi. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens and what is true and what will we write about. We'll find out.
We will find out.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
Very good. I don't know what the next one's going to be about.
We'll figure it out. We always do. We've got time.
Yeah. But tune in next week for the next read along for Light of the Midnight Stars.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't already, or if you haven't been reading along with us, you should be, because it's a super good book. And we're not that far in yet. You're definitely within striking distance to like catch up.
Oh, totally. For sure. Absolutely.
So definitely check that out. Also, if you are interested, go check out our Patreon, and the link's in the description for that.
Yeah.
And
get some extra content and voting rights.
We just recorded our bonus video for this week or month.
Yep, that went live today.
Yeah, so.
At the time of recording this, so by the time you hear this, it's been there.
Yeah, it's been there for a little bit, but that's okay. So yeah. So until next time, go read something cool.
And we'll talk at you next time.
Later.
Bye.